everyone, it's Dianne at Minerva. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. And today I'm going to share with you a make for this gorgeous little top. It's a tie front blouse. We're going to be making version D right here. But as you can see, there are other variations to choose from, should you wish to make one of the others. And what we're going to be using is this fabulous, exclusive viscose challis. And this one is called Arcane Art. Now there are 3 other colourways to choose from if this one is not quite your thing. But I really love the colours in this one. It's got a lovely deep teal, a mauve, a forest green, a lovely purple. I think it's a really modern print. Now, before we begin, we want to wash and prepare our fabric as we would normally, and that ensures any shrinkage occurs now and not later on. And then when you've done that, we're going to take a tape measure, locate our sizing on the back, and when you're sure of the perfect fit, we're going to go and cut our pattern pieces together. So let's go and do that now. Here are our pattern pieces for our blouse. So this is the front for D and E. You're going to cut one on the fold is here. Make a note of these dart markings and the bust darts, also the notches and the circles. Here we have the back for D and E. Again, cut this on the fold here. Make a note of your dart markings, your notches and your circles. Here we have our contrasting tie band. You're going to cut one of this one. Then we have the collar for D. This time you're going to cut 2 of this one on the fold, and the fold is here. Make a note of these circles and your notches. Here we have the front facing. You're going to cut 1 on the fold of fabric and 1 on the fold of interfacing. Here we have the back facing. Cut 1 on the fold of fabric and 1 on the fold of interfacing. You also need to cut 1 on the fold of interfacing for this collar piece also. Here we have the sleeve. Now the grain of the sleeve goes this way, so you need to make sure that you place this correctly when you're placing your sleeve pieces down. You're going to cut 2 sleeves, make a note of these circles and the notches. Now we're ready to begin making our blouse. So first of all, you want to wind half of your thread onto your machine spool. Check your machine needle is sharp. I'm using a universal size 70 today. You may wish to test this on a piece of scrap fabric before we begin. Now remember, everything that you need today will be tagged below, so the contrasting fabric and all the notions, so you'll have everything you need to get started. Now our first job is to take our front piece and we're going to stay stitch around the neck edge. Now we do this in the direction of the arrows, so start from the shoulder and work towards the centre. We're going to do this 1.3 centimetres away from the raw edge. Let's do this first of all. Next we're going to create our darts. Now I've recreated my markings with pins to make it a little easier for you to see. So here we have a bust dart here, so we've got the markings at the side and then we have the point that we're working to here. So we're going to create this one first of all. So you need to bring those 2 points together, that right side's facing, and we're working towards this point here. Now we want to go off at a gradual V, so don't make it too sudden. We're starting at the outside, working towards this point, and we're going to run off and let our threads run free. Back tight to begin. Now leave a long amount of thread and knot it and push that knot down towards the point that you've just created. And then you can trim it off and repeat on the other side. Then we're going to create these central darts here. Now as you can see, you have a point here and then this central waist one here, and I've got my pin going that way to show this one. Now what I like to do is start from this central point, so we're pinching this together like this, so right side's facing, and we're working towards the point. So I start from the centre and work out towards the point and knot it, and then come back to the centre, back tag and work out towards this point. I just find that gives you a nicer point at either side to your dart. So let's do that first of all. So pinch it, and we're starting here at this widest point of your dart. knot at this side. Flip it round. And head towards the other point. And repeat on the other side. Now take your back piece of your blouse, and again we're going to stay stitch around the neck edge, 1.3 centimetres away from the raw edge. And again we're going to create those central darts, so starting from the waist point, working out towards your points. At this point you're going to apply interfacing to one of your collar pieces, then place them right side facing, like this, and we're going to stitch round this outside edge. So we have these two notches on this central curve here, and we're stitching around the outer curve. Now you can trim a little from your seam and also clip the curves. Now press your collar down flat, and now we're going to baste round the raw edge. Now we're going to join our shoulder seams, so place a front piece on back piece, right side facing like this, and line up your shoulder seams matching the notches. We're going to stitch these in place with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. Now pin your side seams matching your notches and stitch your side seams in place. Now you're going to pin your collar to your neck edge, facing side to the collar. You want to line up your markings at the centre point here, where your collar centre meets. Also the notches at the back of the neck here, and the markings to the shoulder points. Pin it all the way around, and then we're going to stitch that in place. Next you're going to take your neck facing pieces and apply your interfacing. Then when you've done that, you're going to lay them out like this, and we're going to join the shoulder seams here and here on the facing pieces. So flip it over, line up your notches at the shoulder and stitch those in place. Now edge finish the outer edge of your facing piece and pin it to your neckline, matching up your centre back point, your centre front, where your collars meet, and your shoulder points. Now stitch it in place. Now at this point you can trim away a little of your seam and clip into it, and then you're going to understitch it, your seam to your facing. So we're doing this a few millimetres away from this seam here, and you're pushing the seam towards the facing as you go. Now we're going to take our sleeves and do a line of ease stitching along the top of each between your circles. Now stitch your underarm seam. Then when you've done that, we're going to create a narrow hem at the bottom. So double fold. Now we're going to add in our sleeves. So we want our top the wrong way around and our sleeves the right way around. You're going to place your sleeve inside the armhole like this, and we're going to line up the notches. So we have one notch to the front like this. Make sure that that's in place first of all. Line up your underarm seam. Two notches at the back and two notches on the sleeve. And at the shoulder, the central point lined up with the shoulder. And once you have those key places in position, you can pull on your ease stitching to ease the sleeve the rest of the way and continue pinning. Stitch your sleeve in place. Now press up and finish your hem. So I'm doing a double fold at the bottom. Now we're going to change to our zipper foot and we're going to add in our zipper. So you want your zipper face down on your garment, and I'm using a concealed zipper foot. So you may wish to invest in one of these if you don't have one already. If not, just consult your manual and check that you have the correct foot on for your zipper function on your machine. You want to make sure you're stitching directly behind the teeth. And if you have a foot like this one, it goes into a little channel just here and keeps it in place. Stitch it all the way down to the bottom. Stitch up the other side of your zipper. Now stitch over the bottom of your zip and trim away any excess, and we're going to close this bottom section of the hem here. Now I've done this with a few hand stitches. You can neaten it up on the inside if you wish. And make sure you go over the bottom of that zip if you've trimmed it a number of times so that it doesn't unravel. Now we're going to take our tie, if you're making the tie neck, in the contrasting fabric. We're going to fold it in half lengthways. We're going to stitch along to the point here, and halfway down we're going to leave a gap in the middle so that we can turn it through, and then do the same from the other side. Now hand close the tie with a few hand stitches at the centre point. Turn it through and press, tie it into a bow and hand stitch to your neckline just here. Well, I hope you've enjoyed sewing along with me today. I think this is a really eye-catching blouse and I've really had fun making it. Please let us know if you've made this pattern before, and remember to include any photographs. We always love to see what you've been making. Maybe next time you could try one of the other versions. Maybe try a rayon, a silk or a damask. I really like this one here without the sleeves as well. And the tie is in the same fabric in this one, so maybe that's something to try in future. Remember to like and follow Minerva to get more video content like this every week. And of course, take a look at the Minerva Craft Club to get 10% off all your orders for a whole year. If you like what I'm wearing today, this is another one of our viscose chalet fabrics, another exclusive. This one is called Blazing Bouquet and it's Simplicity pattern number 9101. I will include that with the products below in case you're interested in making this. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope to be back soon. Bye for now.